Well, good morning, lovers of budget cars and bikes. Welcome back to the Blue Tech Review Mat and to another diagnostic scanner review for 2026. Launch have reached out to us yet again because they loved the review we did on their last one, and they've asked us to take a look at the 919XBT scanner, which is their latest in their range of kind of mid-range, I would say, mid-level scanners. This arrived in the post about a week ago, so we're going to do the usual intro and unboxing, take a first look, start it up, get it in the car, put it through some tests, and then let you know whether you should buy one or are there better options. All right, let's do the intro, get into it. Well, as I said, guys, this is the 919XBT. It is a mid-level scanner, but although it does have a VCI, which means you don't have to use a cable, which we do much prefer. We're going to take a look at this together for the very first time because that's the way I like to do things. I don't necessarily do hours of research and watch other people's videos. I like to do our videos on the channel the same way as you would see it, if that makes sense. If you bought one of these and you just unpacked it, that's what we're going to do here, basically, and we'll go through what it can, what it can't do. And as I said, is it better than some of the others that we've done recently, or is it worth your time and your money? Nothing fancy here, guys, with the box. It is a hardened plastic box, none of this kind of felt stuff that you get sometimes with the more high-end, shall we say, but it is robust. It will protect everything inside, and it's fit for purpose in that regard. But obviously there's nothing to see here necessarily, so we'll get this unboxed, or opened as it were, and see exactly what we get inside. Usual kind of affair, guys. We've got a little kind of pocket here which you just unclip these here and then pop it open. Inside here you will have all sorts of stuff, maybe some serial numbers to activate it. I'm not sure. Some do, some don't. I don't really like having to do that, if I'm honest, but it's just one of the things they do sometimes, so we'll just put that aside. Here we are going to have an extension basically to the VCI. What they're doing a lot these days is if you've got an OBD port which is in a really bloody awkward place and you can't quite slip the VCI in there, then they give you this extension these days whereby you can just pop that in and it just extends where you can put the VCI, if that makes sense. And it looks to have a Type C to Type A, there we are, charger down there as well for charging, I guess. That's pretty much all that's going to be for. The ubiquitous plug of manyness, as it were, down there where you've got a UK plug, looks like a European plug and a American plug. That's just the way they do things now. Sorry, I got that out of the frame, but as I said, you've got a UK plug, a European plug and a USA plug. All you need, really. Couple of silica bags and the VCI unit itself. Now this is something a little bit different in the regards of how large it is. I got a feeling this isn't necessarily what I would deem to be a VCI. Now if you've watched the reviews we've done on scanners in the past, you get this little kind of tiny, it looks like an OBD, end of an OBD, if that makes sense, whereby you don't have to use a cable. What they've done here is very similar, I think, to what they did with the Think Car Think Scan 2, whereby you've got this kind of module here. You plug one end into here, which will be, let me just grab it here, that cable there. I thought that was an extender, but that's actually, I guess it kind of is in some ways, but you'll plug one end into here and then the other end into the car. So it acts like a bridge, effectively. Not 100% sure why they do that. Probably for stability when you're doing your scans and you're coding, that kind of stuff, because the last thing you want is any kind of dramas there where it loses connection halfway through coding something. You know, that's really not what you want. So this will be a far safer kind of method for that. So that's in the top pocket. I will quickly show you this as well, guys. This is the, I don't know what you'd call it, the interface, I guess, really. And as I said, you've got a power button there. It looks like that might open. Okay, so it's not a power button. It is the Type C connection down there. So you would basically plug your OBD connector in there, your VGA, and your Type C connector into there. All right, time to have a look at the star of the show. And there it is, guys, the 919XBT from launch. All right then, guys, excuse my absolute ignorance and stupidity. The VCI is actually connected in the same way as a normal VCI would be connected, as you can see. That will go into your OBD port. That is basically the VCI there. And then it will connect to the unit there. So it is a kind of a wireless affair in that respect, because you'll have that, you know, somewhere else, basically, in the footwell. And then you can use this outside of the car, so you don't have to have the unit actually connected to the car by the looks of things. Unless I'm being completely bloody stupid, but we'll find find out in a minute, because we're connected to the internet now. I've done all that kind of stuff. I'm going to try to avoid setting this up with a serial number and email address and just use the local diagnosis for now, because as I said, I don't particularly like having to give people my details all the time, email addresses, etc. So we'll pop out to the car and we'll put it through some tests and see what we come up with. If this isn't as I think, because it looks to me like that just fits straight in the OBD port, and then that will connect as a normal VCI via Bluetooth to this unit here. A bit of a convoluted way of doing things, but okay, no problem. Anyway, I may register and we may do this in the car, or I'll just do a local diagnosis. We'll see. But enough waffle. It's a beautiful day. Let's get out to the car, plug this in, see what it can do. All right then, guys, we are in the Nissan. It was an absolute ball ache to get this registered. I had to create an email account because I didn't really want to use my own one, and then it just would not send me the capture code. I finally did it by using an email account I've actually had for a while, but I don't really use. But it was a bit of a ball ache. We're here, and it is the first scanner that I know of that automatically read the VIN on our Nissan J10 Qashqai. I have never had even a 2,000 £1,000 scanner couldn't auto read the VIN. This seemingly has done that. I've, as I said, registered it. I've put the serial number in. You get this weird little bit of paper here as well. It's such a ball ache, guys. I don't understand it. I don't like it. It's free lifetime updates, but you've still got to register it and then have an activation code and a serial number. It just seems also very, very pointless to me, especially if you're not paying a subscription. But it is what it is, and we've done it, and we're here. So, as I said, we did the VIN search. It's taking us to here. As usual, we've got the Nissan GT/R there as well, which we don't own. Let's start from the top and have a full system diagnosis. We never know quite whether we've got a 14 or a 16, but we'll do a system scan and see what it does. System scan meaning that it will search for modules to find out what we've got in the car and what it can scan, etc., etc. This does take a little bit of time, but I just wanted to show you as we go through here. I mean, we're on 4% at the moment. I'll cut back in when we're on about 90% because there's going to be a lot of stuff here. This, like cruise control, we don't have that. It searches for it in case there are any problems, and a HVAC system, we don't have that. These are pretty much the only ones we have here, and it's already seen those. The rest will just go all the way through. We're on 6%, and it'll search for stuff that it thinks it might have. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what it'll search for compared to something like the Think Scan we did recently, which was an amazing scanner. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Let's see how quickly this does its thing. We're about 30 seconds in and it's done 8%, so I will let you know how long it takes to get to 100. All right then, guys, we are just about done. The amount of things it looked for in this was incredible. We were talking about kind of lane assist, the whole ADAS system, everything that is in a modern car, effectively. This scans for those modules. That's incredibly impressive, actually, I have to say, at this price point, because I've seen scanners that are 600, 700, 800 quid that do that, but this is far from that. This is more of a budget end kind of scanner in that respect. Everything is connected down there, by the way, guys. If you just take a quick look there, sorry about the state of the floor. Yeah, it's just what it is. Anyway, that is the VCI connected down there, so effectively you can have this hands-free, but it does not have a little cradle at the back, as in a hook to put it over the steering wheel, hence why we are in this position. So that would have been nice to see. But the amount of modules that this scans for is incredible. I'm really impressed with that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. You can see there as well the VCI is connected, denoted by a little green sign. So that was the system scan. We'll have a look at the system selection here as well. You can go basically into these and have a little look around the ECM modules. We can have a look at the BMI, the electrical, the cruise control, all that kind of good stuff down here. As you can see, you can just select which modules you want to go into as well. Let's get back out of here for a second. I want to have a look at the common special functions while we're here. The ignition is on. So oil maintenance reset, as usual, that will just tell us effectively how to reset that. It's very, very simple. On an older car, of course, you just kind of stick your arm out the window, hop 3 times and put the indicator on and it resets. You know what I'm saying. Brake reset, battery matching, TPMS, ABS bleeding. Nice to see. DPF. Does it do EGR? Yes, it does. Good. I like to see that because some of the sort of lower end scanners, as it were, they've been omitting the EGR or the DPF, but this one has both. It has a lot actually in the special functions down here. That's very impressive. Nice to see. Program coding. Let's have a look. Okay, well, we're not going to bother doing that today. We may do that in a future video. Maintenance. That's going to be the manually reset service, which will basically tell us to do the thing that I was just telling you about. Okay, let's have a look at the special functions. Take a look inside here. I got a feeling this is going to be pretty much what we just looked at. They just have fancier icons, as you can see. Not quite sure why they do that. A lot of people do that, it has to be said. There are a few others here as well, some of which are grayed out for some reason. Let's have a look. You cannot find... Okay, so it's a universal database for launch, and they've obviously put those in there, even though they're not in this scanner, as it were. Stop, start, reset, seek occupancy, knock sensor. Yeah, pretty much everything we were looking at in the special functions as well, which is interesting because we've just looked at that. Anyway, they tend to overlap these things sometimes. I'm not quite sure why. It's almost like they want to put more icons in, which is a bit odd. Diagnosis. Let's have a little look in here. That's going to be pretty much exactly the same as the intelligent diagnosis, but with a different menu. Again, not quite sure why they do that. This is how basically everything connects up when you press the intelligent diagnostics. I'm so impressed that this read the VIN as well, because no other scanner's ever done that. So that's a huge kudos to launch for that. And there we are, back in the menu. I'm so impressed it read the VIN. It never does that normally. Right, let's have a little look in manually select. We are always a bit of an odd one here. Are we in Europe? Are we in Japan? We'll press Europe. And we will go down to the Great Britain, if we can find it somewhere down here. Bear with me. And it is a Qashqai, so it's going to be all down the bottom here somewhere. What else? J10, lovely. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, well, that's interesting. It's just taking us straight back here. Ultra-fast scanning. I've not seen that before. Oh, wow, that is ultra-fast. 80%, bam, straight in. Okay, no messing about. I'm assuming that's because it knows that there are limited modules in here, because we put in it's a J10, so it's just going to go, bam, there you go. Ultra-smart, ultra-fast. This is all we're going to scan, so that's kind of cool as well. Although saying that, we are stuck at 81%. Oh, okay, 86. I wouldn't say it's ultra fast, but it's faster than the full system diagnostics. I do apologise about this glare as well. If you can see the reflection off there, guys, it's because we don't have a hook to put it on the steering wheel, so we're kind of limited there. Right then, so here we are, all normal as we would expect to see. If you had any kind of trouble codes, they would be in here. Let's have a little look. It's not the fastest scanner in the world, guys. I have to say, it does take its sweet time, but at this price range, as I said, you do kind of expect that. Actuation tests, basically, it's bi-directional. Everything you would expect to see will be in here. That is the, let's have a little look here. Bear with me a sec, guys. So, effectively, if we were to go into the engine management kind of system, as it were, the body control module, it takes a couple of seconds to kind of scan through here to get everything up together. We should see, there we go, actuation tests. Everything related to that will be in here. We've talked about bi-directional a million times, so I'm not going to go into that right now. We've got a data stream as well. Again, we've done the data streams on so many different things. I will have a little look, though, just to kind of go through this with you. Main signal, let's have a look at a couple of things. Battery voltage. Let's have a look. Engine speed. Bear with me while I just clap into a couple of these here. All right, we'll do just those for the moment. And what I'll do is I'll start the car up. Detected, yeah, okay, fair enough. And there we go. That is basically the data stream there. So I've just picked battery voltage and engine speed. You can see the graphs there. I wonder if there is actually a graph we can click into. Yeah, just here. And there we go. We've got both the ones we selected just in there. And as you can see, it's graphed out there. Really bloody useful, actually. If you've got an injector you think you might have a problem with, or a battery voltage issue somewhere, we're perfect. So that's good. Always very, very nice to see that. Let's get back out of here. That's just a basic overview of what's in that menu there. As you can see, you've got your data stream, fault codes, work support, which basically means an online support. If you have got problems, they will give you support as well via the website. Clear fault codes, module information, that is as you would expect. It'll just basically tell you the information on your modules, for want of a better word. That's your ECU. That's interesting. Now, they haven't given us an ECU part number where they normally do, so I'm not quite sure why that is, but every other scanner we've done actually gives you the part number. This one didn't. Interesting. Anyway, that's the bi-directional and how we read the data codes. Let's get back out. If you wanted to check the braking system, obviously in the instrument cluster, and do some bi-directional stuff as well there, that's where you would go. You just pick one of those instead. Hope that makes sense. Right, let's get back out of here. Bear with me, guys. There's quite a few menus to get back out of. Oh my goodness, it's a shame it doesn't have a home button, because if you press the home button, it takes you here. So yeah, okay. Yes, we want to. That is real bloody annoying, by the way, Launch. I don't like that at all. You don't have to freak me out like that just to tell me to take the VCI out. So, guys, that has been a quick in-car testing of the 919XBT. We'll pop back in the garage and I'll close out the video and I'll give you my thoughts, compare it to a couple of others, and let you know whether I think you should buy one. Let's go. So we're back in the garage, guys, on the Blue Tech Review Mat. That has been, as I said, the 919XBT from Launch, their mid-level scanner, as it were. I've got to say, I like it. There are some things in here that were unexpected, like the auto VIN read, which we've never been able to do on our 2012 Nissan Qashqai, even with a £2,000 scanner. It wouldn't do it. You always had to type it in. There are some other options these days as well with scanners where you could take a picture of it and it acts like a QR code and it will read your VIN from there as well, which is kind of useful. This doesn't have that, unfortunately, but it read the VIN, so, you know, what are you going to do? The intelligent diagnosis, you can only do that if you register it with a serial number, a capture code, an email address, all that kind of stuff. Don't like that. Really don't see the need for it, especially when you've got free lifetime updates, that kind of stuff. I just don't see the point. It's just almost like they want your data, and I don't really like that. I've had far more expensive scanners that just literally out of the box, you're gone, you're done, you're ready. You know, the Car 689BT, I think it was. That was like that. You just literally took it out of the box and you were away. So not a fan of that, I have to say. The intelligent diagnosis itself, however, was incredibly concise and very, very in-depth. It does all the ADAS systems as you would expect. So many other things as well that, you know, as it was going through the list, I didn't want to keep you there all that time, but as it was going through the list, there were so many modules it was looking into, which was so impressive for a scanner in this kind of price range. So generally speaking, yes, I think it's worth the money. I'm going to put in a little thing of kind of specs down here, guys. I think we've covered it already, but I'm going to slip them in down here so you can just pause the video and have a look at those at your leisure. And we'll pop the price in down here as well. How does it compare to something like the Car, the ThinkScan, the Kimberling K8 Pro, etc.? It's comparable, I have to say. There are a couple I might prefer. I think if I was going to choose, I would go for the ThinkScan or possibly the Kimberling K8. Personally, that is because they've got a little hook on the back. The VCI isn't quite as cumbersome as this bloody great big block of plastic is here. I just think aesthetically, it was nicer. The user interface was slightly easier and you didn't have to register them, which was nice as well. But I think it's a good scanner. At this price point, I think it's well worth your money. It's in my top 5 at the moment, I have to say. And thank you so much to Launch for sending this out. It's always appreciated. As you know, we do give an honest review here. I will tell you the pros and cons, and I hope I've covered that slightly with this kind of short review. If you like this kind of stuff, guys, check out our back catalogue as well. We've got so many scanners in there. Motorcycle smart screens, car smart screens, camper conversions. We do all sorts on the channel these days, including cars and bikes, of course. But from Budget Cars and Bikes, that has been the Launch 919XBT. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give this video a like, a share, a thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff, and consider subscribing for some more content. All right, guys, I'm out on my bike in the sun because it's the first day in months that we've had some sunshine. So, yeah, I'm going to go out and annoy some people with my loud exhaust. All right, then, guys, again, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I know you could have chosen 100 others, but you stayed the course, and let me tell you my thoughts on this 919XBT from Launch. All right, then, guys, take it easy, ride safe, be safe, whatever you're doing, and we'll catch up in a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.